Hello, Leo, and welcome to your reading for the month of April or whenever this video finds you. Now, we're going to be starting off today's reading with a little bit of an energy cleansing practice using some Palo Santo. I want to remind you that even if you are not here in the presence of the Palo Santo, the smell of the smoke or the smudge itself, then it's okay. It's actually not the smoke or the smell that does the cleansing, that does the changing of the vibration of the energy of yourself and of your environment, but in fact, it is the spirit of the Palo Santo tree. And I am really feeling like there's a strong message for all of the signs this month to be very aware of the energy of your environment. You know what I'm talking about, Leo. Like if you walk into somebody's home and the air just feels thick, right? That is a good indication that you kind of need to clean up the energy of the home. And I really love Palo Santo for that because Palo Santo raises the vibration. Of course, I also like to use sage, and there are other herbs that we can use as well. You can use juniper, lavender, cedar, things like that. Or you could even use agua de Florida, Florida water as well. I like to put it into a spray bottle and I can spray around. We can use bells. We can use other types of sound, even visualization. But there's definitely an energy for all of the signs. Like it's come up in every single one of these videos that there is something that needs to shift in the energy of our environment. And I'm not surprised because what is April? April is primarily Aries season, Aries being the first of the astrological signs. So it is all about new beginnings, fresh starts. And again, it feels to me like there's an energy of spring cleaning. And I mean, talk about timing, right? So if you're here in the Northern Hemisphere, we've got spring coming. The weather is getting warmer. We no longer have a risk of frost where I live, which is wonderful. We can get outside and put some seeds in the ground. I'm super excited about that myself. And in shamanism, we learn that hucha, dark, dense, heavy energy, it likes to accumulate in places where there's like clutter and like under and behind furniture and things like that. So you may want to consider, Leo, where can you do some spring cleaning in your life? And if you spend a lot of time in your office or your car, this could be about your office or your car too, not just your home, but where you spend the majority of your time, because that energy in our environment is going to affect how we feel in the day in and the day out. Now, I'm going to jump into some cards here for your reading for the month of April. I'll start with the Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle by Kelly Smith. I call this my OG deck because this deck, it's the one that I've used the longest. It's the one that I've used the most. I've been doing readings for a number of years. I've been a women's coach for over 10 years now. And this one I love the most. I also call it my tough love deck because it does just that. It gives us a little bit of tough love sometimes. It likes to call us on our stuff. So what is the primary energy for the Leo collective for the month of April, please? And I'm getting old habits. All right, Leo. How are you getting in your own way here? Because that's what this card is all about. How are you sabotaging yourself? It might be procrastination. It might be avoidance. Maybe you know what you're supposed to do. You know what you're meant to do. You know what's going to make you feel better. You know what's going to make you more in alignment with what it is that you're calling into your life, but you're just not doing it. Why? I know the ego can be so loud sometimes, but this is the perfect opportunity with this new fresh start, this new fresh new year. I mean, it's nature's new year, right? We just had equinox, and when we have spring equinox, that is like the real new year, not January 01, but spring equinox, that's the real new year. This is really saying that an old habit might be keeping you from moving forward. Maybe it's a coping mechanism. Do some of you binge eat? I'm feeling like some of you are binge eaters, and trust me, I know that. I've been a women's coach for over 10 years. I was a bodybuilder for a while. It led me to some serious disordered eating. I worked with nearly 1,000 women, helping them repair their relationship with food. So I understand binge eating, and it is really a coping mechanism, right? Like we're numbing our feelings by eating mindlessly. Maybe some of you are drinking or using other substances. Maybe some of you are numbing out with mindless scrolling, but there's definitely some old habit here that's keeping you from stepping into the highest timeline, the highest path, your highest purpose, where you were meant to be. Now, we are going to pull a few more cards from the Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle. And then on the extended reading, we're going to jump into some different Oracle decks as well. We're going to look at Unshakable Inner Peace. This can give you an indication of what you can do throughout the month of April to move through this resistance, this self-sabotage. We're also going to look at the Romance Angels by Doreen Virtue. So if you've got a question about a relationship, that'll give you some clarity. And then finally, we'll look at the Animal Spirit Oracle as well. So we'll see what Animal Totem wants to come in to help you throughout the month of April. You might even already be seeing some animals. This will maybe give you some confirmation and validation. But let's dive a little bit deeper into this old habits and see what can help the Leo collective moving through this resistance, this self-sabotage. What can help the Leo collective for the month of April, please? Okay, and I'm getting wake up call. All right, this one was quite a lot. Remember what I said? This is called my tough love deck because it calls us on our shit. So Leo, you're about to get a wake up call. Yeah, you're about to get a wake up call. But what I like about this is look at this. What number is this? 1, 9, 19. 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. New beginnings, new beginnings, new beginnings, new beginnings, new beginnings. So this old habit's got to go. The wake up call card, this comes when something big is about to be shifted in your life. Maybe some of you, I feel, are going to be changing careers. Some of you, I feel, are going to be changing relationships. So that Romance Angel, this one might give you a little bit of insight. Some of you, you could be getting sick. And I hate to even put that out there, but I want to remind you that our bodies are so smart, right? Like we are just coming out of the eclipse portal that we had in March, and our bodies are so smart. We've got to shed, we've got to release in order to step into the version of us that we're meant to be. And our bodies will do that in whatever way we can. Now, energetically, we can purge by laughing, by crying, by sweating. But if we're not doing those 3 things, well, then the body's going to purge in other ways. It's going to get you sick. Like you're going to get fevered, and that's going to bring your body temperature up so you can sweat and you can release. Or maybe you'll get a stomach bug and things will come up or down. The body is so smart, and it's going to release physically what needs to be released energetically. That's why you hear a lot of plant medicine journeys, there's a lot of purging that happens. Well, it's an energetic purge that's happening in the physical. So the wake up call card can indicate sickness, but know that this is not for nothing. The wake up call card is such a beautiful, auspicious card because it always tells us, it's like the tower moment in tarot, right? So it always tells us that there's something seriously amazing just on the other side of whatever chaos you seem to be going through this month. So I think that's a beautiful thing. It can be a little scary sometimes, and we're like, oh, you got the wake up call card, and we're like, what's that? Well, it means that something big is going to shift in your life. It's like a trajectory change. Yeah, that can sound scary. That can sound scary for sure, but it's not happening to you, Leo. It's happening for you. It's happening for you. What is this? I'm curious. You got to let me know in the comments, okay? If you already know what this is, if the energies have already been at play, which I feel for some of you, yeah. For some of you, yeah. The energies are already at play. I feel like this eclipse season really brought a lot of this to the surface for some of you, Leo. You're already going through it. You're just like, tell me something I don't know, Jenny. I'm sorry. Don't shoot the messenger. Okay, what can help the Leo collective move through this wake-up call card with ease and grace, with ease and grace, with ease and grace? And some of you I know will be watching. Oh my gosh, just as I was about to say. I was just about to say, some of you may be watching for your other signs, your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus, wherever else in your chart. You might even be watching for other people. There's a whole lot of carryover. There's a lot of crossover with all these cards and all the different signs. And then these 2 cards, I haven't seen these yet in any other signs yet. Okay, I do things in chronological order, so I start with Aries. So we're only halfway through. I have not seen these 2 cards yet, but just as I was about to say, there's a bunch of crossover, so I'm curious what else is going to show up for you. We get wishful thinking. This card has showed up for so many of the other signs, and I would just want to share with you guys. Hang on. Oh, I almost sneezed, but I didn't. It's like somebody, I feel Leo, some of you have this release that's ready to come out, and you're not going to allow it to happen. Let it happen. Okay. Do you know what I do? when I know that I need to release and I'm struggling to cry, like sometimes I struggle to cry because I grew up thinking like, oh, it would be so tough. I would be a tough girl, but I'm like a little butterfly on the inside. But when I'm struggling to cry, I will get in a hot bath so that I can sweat it out. Okay, sweat it out. I did today. So my hair is so clean and so shiny and so fresh because I got a bath today and I got like the hottest bath possible so that I could sweat. That almost sneeze I had just there, that was a lot, guys. Who is not allowing yourself to fully release? It's like you want to stay stuck to the story, like to the victim story. You want to be hanging on to it. That's our toxic feminine energy. We all have it, okay? We all have divine feminine, toxic feminine, divine masculine, toxic masculine. And that's a toxic feminine energy where we want to hang on to the victim story. Like, what's the secondary gain in that, right? Like, what's the secondary gain? Oh, people might feel sorry for you. Oh, people might show pity to you. Oh, people might offer to help because they think you're suffering so much. Like, there is a secondary gain, but it's not in line with your highest good. Your highest good is not attached to no victim story. Your highest self, she's ready or he's ready or they're ready to shed whatever needs to go right now. Like, absolutely no doubt about it. The wishful thinking card tells us that you're learning how to manifest, okay? You're learning how to manifest, but that's not going to happen. Whatever it is that you're calling into your life, it's not going to happen unless you get out of your own way. Period. That's it. We don't even have to pull any other cards. That's it. But I'd like to anyways, just because I'd like to give you a little bit of clarity. You are learning how to manifest the life that you desire. You've got the evidence. You've manifested things before. So Leo, get out of your own way because there's something big here for you. There's something big here for you. And I feel like it's just on the other side of this wake-up call. What does Leo need to know in order to step onto this timeline where they've already manifested the life of their desires, please? Okay, Auric Field. Again, another card that I've been seeing a lot of lately. Cleanse, ground, and protect your energy, Leo. Cleanse, ground, and protect your energy. So when I find myself sabotaging, the first thing that I do is cleanse and ground my energy. So again, Florida water in a little spray bottle. I even like to breathe it in. Like, it's pretty powerful stuff, let me tell you. I mean, it smells pleasant, but that's strong when you're breathing it in. But it just really slows me down. And then I'll go aside for a moment. I will literally rip my socks off, put my feet in the earth, even though the earth is really wet and damp and cold right now, because it's just the very beginning of spring. And I will ground my energy and then I'll put a protection. There's lots of different ways to put a protection, but one way that I think a lot of people resonate with is you just rub your hands together, create some chi, and then put like a little bird cage around your body. And that's going to protect you from absorbing other people's energy. I know a lot of you consider yourself empaths, and so do I, but we don't have to absorb other people's stuff. We can put a protection every day, and that can keep other people's energy off of us. And that's so hugely important because there's a lot of heaviness in the collective right now. I mean, can you feel it? Can you feel it? You guys, if you're following me on social media, on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, you may have seen my post about coming back to Canada. I was in Costa Rica, hence the beautiful time. Thank you, Melanin. Thank you, parents, for giving me a tan. I appreciate it. My kids are so super duper light. Like, trying to be as dark as me. I'm like, it's never gonna happen. Sorry. You got your dad's skin. But I was just talking about on social media how we came back from Costa Rica and it felt very heavy here. It felt very heavy here. So Leo, you're really being called to manage your energy. I have some meditations on this channel. And in these meditations, we've got some cleansing and grounding practices. Like, yes, we can use herbs. We can work with our plant spirit allies, come into right relationship with them and ask for their assistance in cleansing our energy. But we can also use visualization. There's a ninth chakra up here above our head. We call it the Viracocha chakra. And that's where golden life force energy is. And we can just visualize that golden life force energy coming all the way around our body, all the way through our body, all the way around our aura. And it's going to cleanse. And just as we do that, we can also visualize earthly energy coming up from underneath us and up and all the way around our aura, all the way through our bodies, and that can ground us and anchor us deep into Mother Earth. And it doesn't have to take a long time, but it really shifts the way that we feel. It really shifts our energy. Energy is everything, and everything is energy. So if we can be really conscious of the energy of around our body, and I mean, you're getting the auric field. And what was the first thing I said when I started this reading today? I said, there's something here about the energy of your home as well. It's coming up for all the signs, like every single one of them. Not a single sign has not had this message yet. As soon as I get started, I always start channeling before I hit record. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're going to be talking about managing our energy again. We're going to be talking about the energy of our environment again. And, when I was a spiritual alignment coach, I had the very first lesson was called Energy in the Home, because it makes such a big difference. When I was early on in my journey, my house was always such a mess, because our outer world is a direct reflection of our inner world, right? So my house was a mess because on the inside I was a mess. And when the house is a mess now, it affects me so much. I get anxious. I get like overwhelmed. I just go like this. Like my ears go up into my ears go into my shoulders, and my neck gets stiff, and I get this like tightness in my throat, and I'm like, I can't handle this. That's because it's the energy. It's the energy of the mess that is affecting us. So that's a lot for you, Leo. I'm excited for the month ahead for you, though, because like I've said a couple times now, if you can get out of your own way, if you can move through that self-sabotage, know that this wake-up call is happening for you. It's not happening to you, and manage your own energy. Well, I feel like the life that you're looking for is right on the other side. You got the wishful thinking card. So there's something here that you're manifesting, and I'm excited to hear all about it. So please do let me know down below in the comments what it is that you're manifesting into your life, and if you're resonating with this message today. And if you're new here, I hope that you will consider subscribing to the channel. I do have these videos once a month, as well as some guided meditations on here. And I hope to see you over in the extended reading. I will have the links to join that down below in the comments, and I will see you over there.